In today's news, trial date set for the case involving former Premier Fahie and co-defendants. The constitutional review needs to go in the direction of political advancement, says Malone. And December consumption not covered by government subsidy, says BVIEC's general manager. And greater focus needed on the social impact of alcohol abuse in the BVI, says Deputy Premier Rymer. Viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Good job there, brother. All right. I'm surprised you're here.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Charles, it's been 60 years.
I wish it was 60 more.
Let it go.
No. You know what you did.
It was just ice cream. But you know what? It was delicious.
What?
We're like a family get-together without all the family drama.
What you gonna do?
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Well, welcome viewers to the Monday, November 21st edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, leading today's newscast, the trial involving former Premier Andrew Fahie, former Managing Director of the BVI Ports Authority, Olivine Maynard, and her son, Kadeem Maynard, is set to begin on January 9th, 2023. Well, this is according to court documents from the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, dated Thursday, November 17th, that was observed by our newsroom. Well, the document stated, and I quote, well, this case is set for trial during the 2-week trial calendar beginning on January 9th, 2023. If the case cannot be tried during this 2-week period, it will be reset for each successive trial calendar until it is tried or resolved, end quote. But the document which set out the order setting pre-trial schedule and procedures for the case further said all counsel within the trial must be present for a video Zoom calendar call at 11 a.m. on January 3rd, 2023. Fahie and Maynard were recently slapped with a new charge of interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering, taking their overall tally of charges filed in the United States District Court of Southern Florida to 4. Reports indicate that both Fahie and Maynard pleaded not guilty to the new charge when they appeared before Magistrate Judge Melissa Damian last week on separate occasions. Fahie, Maynard, and her son Kadeem Maynard are also jointly charged with conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering. Well, viewers, moving on, where Territorial at-large Representative Honorable Carvin Malone believes that the territory during the present constitutional review needs to go in the direction of political advancement. Malone's comment on the matter came during a recent interview with 284 News, where he spoke of his concerns relating to some of the new provisions within the most recent constitutional review. One such concern includes the powers being proposed to the governor of the BVI.
Last constitutional review, there was a provision in there on how the powers or the reserved powers of the governor could be reversed. Now, this Constitution is talking about how you could enhance the powers of the governors, and then at the same time, if there are any conflicts that arise between his special responsibilities and that of the subjects devolved to the ministers, how they could be reconciled. And also, whether or not the civil service remains under the particular special responsibilities of the governor. I think we need to look in terms of whatever step are going to take us into the political advancement that we keep talking about, whether it is associated states, whether it's independence, whether it is, whatever form of advancement, we have to move towards that direction. Any movement back is a retrograde step, and we should not be looking towards that.
Well, as it relates to the public involvement in the constitutional review process, Malone said he has been spearheading a number of initiatives to get more youth involved. Well, one such meeting occurred last Monday.
I am sure that the crowd or the particular turnout would improve because we're now taking a concerted effort to make sure we assist the Commission, or I am, in terms of making sure that we get the young adults out, we get the youths out, so that they become part of the process. And I think that we had a program yesterday. I'll send you some pictures of it, where it was almost like train the trainers, getting a group of young leaders together to inform them as to the different aspects of the Constitution so that they can then go out and spread the word to other youth. and so forth. So this is going to be critical. So we invite everyone to take part in this. This is very critical for us to do at this particular juncture, because we know there is a lack of trust, you can almost say, of governance of our people by our people. And the only way to do this is to, in my view, to put into the Constitution mechanisms that would put power back in the hands of the people. The referendums, the recall, the recount, all of those term limits, all of those provisions that would have the folks accountable to the people who elect them, not only on a 4-year basis, but throughout the process.
Malone also spoke about the progress being made in his fight to have the United Kingdom government remove the order in council, in the BVI.
That has not been given, or it has not received the kind of traction that I would like to see. We cannot continue to feel that we would review our Constitution that has in itself been actually taken away in most parts. We have to get that order removed. I will continue the process of looking to get people in to contribute to whatever the new order is. But if the whole particular issue with this is that if the UK felt they had, they have the power to actually have the order in council removing certain aspects right now. They have the same power to change the Constitution without our input. So we have to at least do this review in good faith. What sections of the Constitution are we reviewing if you are taking out what you want and seeking to put in what you want without our consultation? So it is something that I think that is troubling to me, troubling to a lot of people, and I am saying straight off the bat, the order in council must be removed.
Well, up next, viewers, December consumption not covered by government subsidy, says BVIEC's general manager. And greater focus needed on the social impact of alcohol abuse in the BVI, says Deputy Premier Rymer. Well, these are more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, while residents string up their Christmas lights this year, they're urged to be aware that the electricity bills they receive post-holiday season will return a 100% fuel surcharge cost, as consumption in the month of December is not covered under the government's current fuel surcharge subsidy. But a clarification was made by General Manager of the BVI Electricity Corporation, Leroy Abraham.
Your September consumption, which we read your meter in October and presented you with your bill, when you look at that bill that you would have gotten last month, you would have seen that the full fuel surcharge if you had to pay, and then the subsidy portion, which is the credit for 50% of it. And then November, your next bill in November, which is based on your October consumption, you'll see the same thing. And then your November consumption bill that you get in December, you'll get 100%.
Well, Abraham explained that this is a reflection of the post-paid nature of the electricity industry, which he admitted can be tricky for some to interpret.
The government indicated that the bills that went out in October, November, will get a 50% reduction on the fuel surcharge. So your October bill is, in essence, your September consumption. So electricity is, I think, one of the last industries that essentially is in a post-paid market. So you actually consume something and then we bill you for it. Most other industries, you have to pay for something before you get it.
Well, as it currently stands, the government subsidy in fact covers residential consumption for the months of September, October, and November, for which bills would be issued in October, November, and December respectively. Amid continued uncertainty in the global oil market and the impact this has on the price of electricity in the territory, residents are urged to be conscious of their consumption. Well, viewers, Deputy Premier and Communications and Works Minister, the Honorable Rymer, has called for greater consideration to be made on the social impact of alcohol use in the territory. Rymer spoke during recent debates on the new Liquor Licensing Act 2019. Ojaka Wedding reports.
Against the backdrop of discussions on how the territory manages the licensing of establishments who make and distribute alcohol, Deputy Premier Rymer has stressed the need to ensure that discussions surrounding the responsible use of alcohol are on the table.
As was mentioned by the Premier, when alcohol is not controlled or used in moderation, the implications, they are far-reaching. Madam Speaker, I see throughout the community some of my classmates, some of my schoolmates, the effects of using too much alcohol, what it has done to them. And as we go through this bill, Madam Speaker, I'm hoping that somewhere that, we think about the social impact of alcoholism.
Referencing a report from the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, Rymer reflected on the worrying prevailing situation as it relates to alcohol abuse in the BVI and the wider Caribbean, and the health risk associated with such behavior.
The region of the Americas, it has the highest consumption of alcohol in the world. Alcohol consumption, especially among youth, is a major public health concern. The harmful consumption of alcohol is associated with a range of health and social consequences, including injuries, several forms of cancer, chronic liver disease, heart disease, alcohol dependence, and even domestic violence.
To aid in addressing the social impacts of alcoholism, Rymer suggested that the territory explore an alcohol dependency treatment program like that of Alcoholics Anonymous.
And Madam Speaker, earlier where I spoke about the social issues, I'm hoping that we can establish some sort of some program within our community to address those persons that are affected by the overusage of the consumption of alcohol. I'm not sure, I see the fees are increased. There are fees attached to the act. But somewhere, Madam Speaker, that we can have where, I know in other jurisdictions there are some called AA, Alcohol Anonymous or something to that effect. But maybe we could create, I'm not sure if there's any program here, if there's any government program, but it would be good to refer persons to that
According to the Deputy Premier, a 2019 report conducted by the Ministry of Health and Social Development in collaboration with the BVI Social Security Board found that over 50% of men in the BVI between the ages of 25 and 64 consumed alcohol, 27% of which admitted to heavy consumption. As the territory modernizes the way it deals with alcohol at the licensing stage, Rymer is urging Virgin Islanders to be responsible with their use of alcohol. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding.
Well, thank you, Jacka. Well, up next, viewers, Education Ministry to update Powerschool system to monitor and improve key areas. And Mrs. Globe BVI rallies for her upcoming trip to Hong Kong. But viewers, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the Ministry of Education has announced plans to expand its Powerschool information system to capture additional information that will further enhance the territory's education ecosystem through technology. Well, the announcement came from the Minister of Education, Honorable Shari De Castro, during a recent sitting of the House of Assembly. Well, she updated the members of the House on the internet-based student information system that is used in the BVI's public schools and briefly explained its current features.
It functions either independently or with other computer applications to provide educators with robust tools for viewing, storing, and retrieving student data. Madam Speaker, Powerschool tracks student records and progress. School administrators and teachers enter the data into the system where it is stored and can then be accessed by running searches and reports. Parents can monitor their children's progress, access course outlines, determine assignment schedules, and learn about school activities. The information managed by Powerschool includes grades, attendance records, school schedules, class schedules, graduation progress, credit recovery data, community service, daily bulletins, and citizenship.
Well, De Castro said the information system and its add-ons will continue to be utilized during this school year to capture data to inform graduation plan progress, credit recovery, summer school programs, and community service from grades 4 to 12. She also spoke on some of the new areas that the Powerschool system will be impacting in the education system.
The next area of advancement will be the Unified Classroom Special Program, which will give the capability to track the data to improve student outcomes in special education, as well as the community service application, designed to allow students to input their community service activities directly into Powerschool for verification and approval. Additionally, steps are being taken to give the alternative secondary education program access to Powerschool. Madam Speaker, Powerschool has been used for many years in the education system. However, the additions this year will ensure improved accuracy and accountability in the aforementioned key areas.
The minister said she believes these updates will improve the system by effectively monitoring, evaluating, and reporting on areas such as enrollment, attendance, learning, instruction, grading, assessments, and analytics, all in one unified platform. And moving on, viewers, as she prepares to grace the stage of Mrs. Globe International Pageant, Mrs. Globe BVI 2022 Dr. Arlene T. Penn is lobbying support from Virgin Islanders for her grand journey ahead. More in this report.
From the 12th to the 23rd of April 2023, Mrs. Globe BVI 2022 Dr. Arlene T. Penn will be in Hong Kong participating in the Mrs. Globe International Pageant. As a part of her continued preparations to take the stage, Penn is rallying the support of Virgin Islanders and assuring that she intends to represent the territory with her all.
In a few months, I'll be off to Hong Kong. Before, you would have heard the announcement that I would have been off to China, but things change, and as things change, you have to adjust. From the 12th of April to the 23rd of April, I will be representing the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, in Hong Kong for the Mrs. Globe 2023 pageant. And one of the things we recognize, I was fortunate to travel with our director here for the event in Palm Springs, and I was able to see the Mrs. Globe 2022. And one of the things that we saw that was key was the support of the country, supporting the women. And I want the public to understand that when I go to represent the Virgin Islands as Mrs. Globe, British Virgin Islands, I am not representing Dr. Arlene T. Penn. No. I am representing the British Virgin Islands. So when you see me walk on the stage, it's not me you're seeing yourself walking on stage, because I will be representing you to the best of my ability.
Penn stresses that it is integral to her journey that Virgin Islanders get involved in the process by participating in online voting via mrsglobe.com.
There will be some virtual voting that will be happening. And when the virtual votes process happens, we need you to work with us to even contribute, because here we will be contributing now on a larger scale. In other words, the funds that are received, it go towards the larger initiative, and that is the WIN Foundation initiative that would help women across all of the globe. So when I go, I will be taking my platform with me, my know, my fix, my live, and my win. Because the takeaway for me must be, they must understand and know that the Virgin Islands is doing its part to make sure that we do our part to educate the public about not just cervical cancer, but all cancers.
Penn was joined by former Miss Globe BVI, now Director of WIN BVI, Alicia Green, who reflected on the value of the BVI's participation in the Mrs. Globe International Pageant.
When it comes to the pageant tourism is something that is very, very real. And the reason that we aligned ourselves with the Mrs. Globe pageant, again, the funds from that international pageant goes to something of substance. It goes to the WIN Foundation, which does the same things that we do. So these are all women coming together across the globe with a purpose, with a message to carry. And I'm sure listening to our candidates, you can rest assured that that message that she's carrying when it comes to cancer and cervical cancer, the message for all the cancers, for us to know early detection saves lives, will definitely make an impact across the globe for the British Virgin Islands.
Online voting, which comes at the cost of $10, is used as a fundraiser for the WIN Foundation and also determines which delegates will walk away with the Choice of the People Award for their contributions and support of the WIN Foundation. For 284 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
Well, moving on to our final story, viewers, where Chairman of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament, Honorable Charity Castro, is presently leading a two-member team to the 11th Commonwealth Youth Parliament, which is being held in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, the event commenced on Sunday, November 20th, and runs until Thursday, November 24th. Ron Grant has the story.
The 11th CYP will be hosted by the Parliament of the Twin Island Republic on behalf of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, Caribbean, Atlantic, and Americas region. This year's theme is titled Youth Involvement in Parliamentary Democracy and will be the first physical event since the 10th CYP in New Delhi, India in November 2019. Honorable De Castro, who was appointed chairman of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament in March of 2022, will be accompanied by the two current youth parliamentarians, Mr. Stefan McTavius and Ms. Danielle Hodge, at this year's session. In an official quote, she said, "This is an exciting time for our youth," adding that they are the ones who are essential to the strengthening of our region and economies. Our youth, she said, will be given an opportunity to experience democracy and good governance through the lens of parliamentary work. The week-long program is intended to inform potential future parliamentarians of the principles of the legislative process and is expected to offer a significant development opportunity for young people from the Commonwealth with ambitions of public service. As a mentor, I will support the participants in their angles used in the debate, their use of adherence to the standing orders of the mock parliament, and the scrutiny of the bill. The criteria to be a mentor is an elected member under the age of 35. The mentors, therefore, as a role models in being young parliamentarians themselves, Honorable De Castro further stated. Participants who attend the CYP will be afforded a PAM Commonwealth experience and a networking opportunity with other participants from across the Commonwealth, as well as with the current members of Parliament from different jurisdictions who act as mentors throughout the week. The Commonwealth Youth Parliament brings together participants ages 18 to 29 representing the 9 CPA regions including Africa, Asia, Australia, British Virgin Islands, and Mediterranean, Caribbean, Americas and Atlantic, Canada, India, Pacific, and Southeast Asia. Reporting for 284 News, I'm Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hot. I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
With CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up or what?